This is now part 2 of this week's album rankings, and this time I ranked the 10 best rock and metal albums of 1990. As always, like and subscribe. Feel free to check out my past album rankings episodes. The playlist is in the description box. Here we go again. In 10th place is Judas Priest's Painkiller, released on September 14th, 1990. This album marked the debut of drummer Scott Travis, as he gave Priest a new sound and a heavier edge. Painkiller was described as heavy metal, and due to its relatively intense sound, it sounded like speed metal. This album also marked the last for Rob Halford on lead vocals until he returned in 2005 for Angel of Retribution. Painkiller is the first Priest record I owned, and to be honest, one of their best. I even ranked it in the top 5 of my album ranking series. See episode number 17 on my album ranking series. This is where I ranked all of Judas Priest's albums. Judas Priest Painkiller is actually one of their best. Next. In 9th place, it's Seasons in the Abyss from Slayer, released on October 9th, 1990. What this one did was take thrash metal to a whole new level in the 90s, despite the transformation from hair metal to grunge. While many deemed Rain in Blood as Slayer's best studio effort, Seasons in the Abyss turned out to be 10 times more louder, heavier, and faster than Rain in Blood. And I don't mean that with any disrespect to those who like Rain in Blood. The record achieved gold status and made it to the top 40 of the Billboard 200 thanks to standout songs like, of course, Seasons in the Abyss, War Ensemble, Dead Skin Mask, and others. A genuine thrash metal classic. Next. In 8th place is Rust in Peace from Megadeth, released on September the 24th, 1990. Now this featured the debut of the classic Megadeth lineup, and as many critics agree, the most successful, as you got Dave Mustaine, David Ellefson, Marty Friedman, and Nick Menza. Rust in Peace, upon its release, got widespread critical acclaim, reaching number 23 on the Billboard 200 and went platinum in the States and Canada. Plus, it reached number 8 in the UK as well. The standout tracks that I liked were Tornado of Souls, Hangar 18, and of course, Holy Wars, The Punishment Due. Next. In 7th place is Crazy World from the Scorpions, released on November 6, 1990. Crazy World is the only Scorpions album to reach number 1 in their home country of Germany. When I ranked all of the Scorpions studio albums, see episode 14, I ranked it number 1 as well. The album sold a total of 7 million across the globe, including achieving double platinum status here in the United States. A lot of the record's success is thanks to the global hit Wind of Change, as well as other standout tracks like Tease Me Please Me, Don't Believe Her, Send Me an Angel, and Hit Between the Eyes, which showed up in the closing credits of the 1992 action thriller Freejack, starring Emilio Estevez and Rolling Stones frontman Mick Jagger. Next. Slaughter's Stick It To You comes in at number 6, released on January the 23rd, 1990. Slaughter was put together following the disbandment of the Vinnie Vincent Invasion, and its two core members were Mark Slaughter and Dana Strum. They formed Slaughter, and joining them were Tim Kelly and Blas Elias. Stick It To You is Slaughter's debut that sold over 2 million copies in America, and becoming one of the biggest records of 1990 thanks to the hits like Up All Night, Mad About You, Spend My Life, and their power ballad Fly to the Angels. The album even cracked the top 20 on the Billboard 200 as well. A highly successful debut. Next. In 5th place is Cherry Pie from Warrant, released on September 11th, 1990. Following the success of Dirty Rotten Filthy Stinkin' Rich, Warrant were back in the studio for a follow-up, which turned out to be Cherry Pie. The title track became a top 10 hit on the Billboard Hot 100, while the album itself reached number 7 on the Billboard 200. Other standout tracks include the power ballads I Saw Red and Blind Faith, along with the mysterious rocker Uncle Tom's Cabin, a song that was initially, before Cherry Pie was even written and recorded, was to be the first single and the original album title. Nonetheless, Cherry Pie equaled the success of their most recent effort, Dirty Rotten Filthy Stinkin' Rich. Next. In fourth place is Queensryche's Empire, released on August 20th, 1990. Empire is Queensryche's most successful album to date, reaching number 7 on the Billboard 200 and going triple platinum. One of the reasons this record was successful was due to the power ballad Silent Lucidity, which reached number 1 on the Billboard's mainstream rock tracks and number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100. Other songs off this album include Jet City Woman, Best I Can, Another Rainy Night Without You, and of course the title track Empire. This was at the time the 5 original members of Queensryche, Jeff Tate, Michael Wilton, Chris DeGarmo, Eddie Jackson, and Scott Rockenfield were at their creative peak. Highly successful record for Queensryche as well. Next. In third place is Flesh and Blood from Poison, released on July 2nd, 1990. Flesh and Blood is an attempt by the band themselves to establish a more serious musical stance other than being a party hair band in previous efforts like Look What the Cat Dragged In and Open Up and Say Ah. Since its release, Flesh and Blood reached number 2 on the Billboard 200, went triple platinum in the States, 4 times platinum in Canada, thanks to hits like Unskinny Bop, Ride the Wind, Life Goes On, and Something to Believe In. The album is still an all-time classic, with a more serious tone. And besides, I also like the title track, Flesh and Blood Sacrifice. Very good. Next. In second place is AC/DC's The Razor's Edge, released on September the 24th, 1990. The Razor's Edge was an album I recently covered on my album review series. As it stands today, AC/DC's The Razor's Edge ranks up there as one of the highest selling AC/DC records behind Back in Black, selling at a total of 18.8 million copies globally. Here in the United States, it reached number 2 on the Billboard 200 and went 5 times platinum. And the songs Thunderstruck and Money Talks, along with other songs like Mistress for Christmas, Are You Ready, and of course the title track The Razor's Edge, really helped establish the album The Razor's Edge as AC/DC's comeback album. Next. And in first place is In the Heart of the Young from Winger, released on July the 24th, 1990. This is the album that was commercially successful due to the song Miles Away being Winger's highest rated single on the Billboard Hot 100, reaching number 12, while other tracks like Can't Get Enough, which was in the top 10 of the mainstream rock tracks, and Easy Come Easy Go, which made it to the top 20 on that same chart as well. The other standout tracks include Loosen Up, Rainbow and the Rose, and of course, my personal favorite, the title track that closed the record. It was a great record nonetheless, arguably Winger's best album to date. Here is a quick recap of the 10 best rock metal albums of 1990. Now I know I'm leaving some out, but don't worry, they'll be part of the most underrated albums list of 90 in a future album rankings episode. Now I also know people are going to come at me in the comments section for this rankings list. However, I only go by how successful an album can be in that calendar year, nothing more, nothing less. This has been Joe Lum's Album Rankings.